Welcome to West Country Wanderings and welcome to another one in my railway series. I'm going to the northern extremities of the West Country Wanderings area. Remember, previously I've said that my eastern border is Oxford and my most northerly border is Birmingham. I only normally just cover up into Worcestershire. Only once before have I covered the county of West Midlands when I was making my Chocolate and Canals video when we visited Bourneville, where we're going to have another trip into the metropolis of Birmingham. And I'll tell you all about it shortly. Yes, I'm at the delightful village of Wootton Wawen in Warwickshire, southern part of Warwickshire. And this morning I actually met up with a fellow YouTuber, Roy Edwards. We met in Ulster, in just over into the Warwickshire border from Worcestershire. We met up there for a coffee. I did a little video there. We walked along Malt Mill Line, beautiful Tudor buildings either side that have been restored. So I've just driven the short, 10-minute drive here to Wootton Wawen station, because from this station here, which is on the Stratford-upon-Avon line, you can catch a train into Birmingham, but not into New Street, which I've done previously when I've been doing the 7-way to go on to Shrewsbury. And Birmingham New Street, if you've been to that station, you'll know, is extremely busy. We're heading into the much calmer, and if you're interested in railways at all, much more interesting station of Birmingham Moor Street, which was restored some 10 to 12 years ago, and I'll tell you more about that and show you around that fantastic station when we get there. It's about a 35-minute train ride here. It's actually very, very reasonable price actually compared to travelling all the way into Birmingham from where I live in Gloucestershire. It's just off-peak return with my rail card, £4.95, which I think is fantastic. I certainly wouldn't want to drive into Birmingham because of all the congestion charges, parking and traffic. Yeah, I don't like that kind of thing. But here I've just managed to park in the village, just and in the main street, and just walk to the station. Short walk to the station. Beautiful station here. In fact, there's no one here. There's a train every hour taking you into Birmingham, and an hour going the other way taking you down to Stratford-upon-Avon. Now this railway station here is managed by West Midlands Railway, and there's also the Friends of the Shakespeare Line, which was established just 2 years ago in 2020, and they've actually got 2 wonderful poems here. I just start to read a bit. They are quite long, but they're quite interesting. Poems for Wootton Wawen. Celestial Express by Julie Bowden. From Heaven's Bridge, the train leaves 0 o'clock, arriving Wootton Wawen 0 a.m. Both Anne will alight where time is not, to walk those fields they used to walk again. And sometimes Lady Luxborough takes the train with folk from Arden Farm, Will Shakespeare's lot, and Priory monks and wagon, Saxon Thane. From Heaven's Bridge the train leaves 0 o'clock. As Will recalls the days of shirt and smock, Anne blushes and the vicar smiles amen. I think, he says, we're in for quite a shock, arriving Wootton Wawen 0 a.m. The Journey by Casey Bailey. When I shouted Moor Street to Stratford-upon-Avon, everybody stopped to look at me. I have taken the what's your favourite Shakespeare line discussion onto an entirely different track, and I'm gathering steam. You see, my favourite Shakespeare line is the one that carries me from my home to his, cutting through what was once the Forest of Arden. From the window at the 8:02 a.m. I can see a different greenery than what was once. More golf courses that you could shake a stick at, and that may not be as you like it, but it is how it is. Friends, Brummies, Stratfordians, lend me your ears. Let me tell of how the Grand Union Canal snakes alongside the track as we glide through Small Heath.
when leaving the train, and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
One day it's snowing, so there's not much train.
Yeah, I mean, financially, yeah.
Welcome to Birmingham. This is Birmingham Moor Street. Beautiful station. It contrasts completely to the station at Birmingham New Street, which is pretty much underground, very dark, very, very busy. Though there are a few people obviously around here. We've got Selfridges over there. That's that great big shiny bit. And then obviously that leads into the Bullring Shopping Centre and also Harlequins. There is a covered walkway to Birmingham New Street from here. Probably will pop out of here and may go and have a look at some of the trams later as well. But this is just fantastic. We've got flowers here. It's not the sort of station you would expect in the 21st century in the heart of Britain's second city. The train platform 4 there. It's a Chiltern Railways train running non-stop through to Leamington Spa. We have actually been to Leamington Spa before on the channel. My 2 spa towns, well, looked at Cheltenham and Leamington, but that's going non-stop from here. It has an unusual layout, Moor Street, and I'll tell you more about that, how it came to be. You'll also notice a water tower there on the right-hand side, and that's there for a reason, because they do run steam trains through to Moor Street from Stratford-upon-Avon in the summer months, and that's why that water tower is still needed there. Just a train pulling out. Now you'll notice there's a dividing line between the platform there and where that train is just moving out in a southerly direction. Well, I'll tell you about the reason for that shortly. Now, Birmingham Moor Street's had quite a complex history, although not a particularly long one. It was one of the later stations to open in the West Midlands area. In fact, it didn't actually open until 1902 by the Great Western Railway. By the time of the line, the West Midlands line, the West Coast Main Line being electrified in the 1960s, the station had started to become run down, with most of the services being diverted through to Birmingham New Street. And I remember coming to Birmingham Moor Street in the 1970s. I remember catching a train to Henley in Arden, a place I went through earlier today, lovely little town in Warwickshire here. What happened was there were plans to close this at the end of the 1970s, become very, very run down. If I can find a photograph of that now, I'll insert it, because it was really, really in quite a dire state. In the 1980s, there was a revival plan, because there'd been another station in Birmingham called Birmingham Snow Hill, and that did close in the 1960s. But in the 1980s, they decided to reopen it again, not like its original predecessor, which was a great grand station, and sadly that's now been demolished. But the new station, which is currently underneath a multi-storey car park, lies at the tracks at the far end of this station, what is known as the Snow Hill lines, and there's through the other side of the Snow Hill Tunnel. So how does the station end up looking like it does today? Well, after Snow Hill Station reopened, they decided to redevelop Moor Street too. Thankfully, it was saved from closure. And in 2002, it was completely rebuilt alongside the previous station. In 2010, they then decided to restore the original station here. So here's a train just leaving. That's the one off to Leamington Spa. And it then was completely restored in the original colours, because it's a heritage line, because obviously people going down to Stratford-upon-Avon, of course. And if you notice that all of the stations on the line down to Stratford, including Wootton Warren, are in that colour pattern that you see behind me here. Okay, what we'll do now is we're going to go through the ticket barrier, show my ticket, and I'll show you the most spectacular part of Birmingham Moor Street, which is of course the entrance hall, and we'll have a look around that before heading off and have a look and see what we can see, the West Midlands metro system here in the heart of Birmingham. Just notice those original GWR gates down there at the end. Now this bit here was built for the 2022 Commonwealth Games, were of course held here in Birmingham. I assume that will be taken down at some point. So this is the central concourse area. Getting in the ticket. Collector's office is in keeping with the rest of the buildings, and I just love the signs as well. This is the main departure hall with a lovely glass roof, so it's nice and airy. Got a booking office here and the Ratesmiths too. And so there's that platform 5, which isn't currently in use at the present time. As well as local services to places like Stratford-upon-Avon and Kidderminster, you also can connect through services here to London Marylebone as an alternative to using New Street. Chiltern Railways do fast services. There's one there, 13:55, stopping at places like Solihull, Banbury and Bicester. Photographs showing you the history line. That's when it first opened at the beginning of the 20th century. And the frontage, which we'll have a look at from the outside shortly, and you'll see it's hardly changed. This is how I remember. I probably remember it from the late 1970s, and that there is a photo from 1974. They used to have a co-op here, which was on the site of the current Bullring extended section. That certainly dates it. Then we have one there, so I can't get close to that, but that's from the steam days. King Henry V GWR train passing through platforms from Wolverhampton to Paddington in 1959. Oh no, that's fine, thank you, thanks. To commemorate, it was put this there in 1998 to commemorate the Grade 2 status that the building received in 1978, which saved it from demolition. 1903 in the video, it was actually 1909 of course that the station opened. 1st of July, as you can see there's a Chiltern Railways plaque to commemorate that. So you have a centenary GWR lounge here where you can have teas, coffees, breakfast, light lunches and sandwiches. Terrific, all done out in the traditional GWR style. You'd actually think you were on a heritage steam line here at the moment rather than a modern day network rail station. So that's the front entrance to Birmingham Moor Street. And so they've kept the original. It was very run down when I remember it, as I say, in the 70s, and it's just wonderful to see it restored to the magnificent condition that it is today. And that's the station from another angle, just bus going past there. And to the right here, you can see all the platforms there, brightly lit up with the car park, Moor Street car park there too. So this is coming down to the Bullring Market, and this is the church in the centre of the Bullring here. And that over there, of course, is the famous Bullring Street Market. Continues all over that area. It's towards the latter part of the day, so it's a bit quiet. It's usually busier first thing in the morning. Over in that building there is the Rag Market. I'm not sure if that's open today or not. Now you're probably thinking, why am I showing you a bit of video of what appears to be an empty space? Well, you probably see those 3 big cranes there with the central core structure. This is actually going to be the site of Birmingham's newest railway station, and that is Curzon Street, which is for the controversial High Speed 2, which will connect it to London in, well, 15 minutes less than what it is now. I'm not going to get into the politics of that here on West Country Wanderings, but yes, this vast space here will be the site of Birmingham's 4th major railway station. And that over there is Birmingham's Chinatown. Most major cities these days, obviously it started off with London's Chinatown, and I believe Manchester's got a Chinatown as well, but Birmingham, of course, I think the main entrance to it is in through that gate there. Here we are in the centre of Chinatown here in Birmingham. Over there to the right is the Birmingham Hippodrome. See, they've got Strictly Ballroom either on at the moment or coming up soon. And that building there from street level is Birmingham New Street's signal box. Normally you see it from station level. Not the prettiest, is it? Here we are to the mailbox in Birmingham. That's the home of BBC Birmingham, BBC Midlands. So you thought you were watching a railway series video, but I couldn't not come to Birmingham without showing you this. This is the mailbox, and it's where the Worcester-Birmingham Canal meets the BCN, the Birmingham Canals Network. We'll just have see if we can have a wander down there by the wharf side. So we're now beside the Worcester-Birmingham Canal. Now we're above street level there. Canal there, so we're on aqueduct at the moment. This is the famous Gas Street Basin here in Birmingham. Of course, it's the end of the Worcester-Birmingham Canal, which has made its way up from the River Severn at Diglis Basin in Worcester. Of course, we'll see that as we get further south along the Severn Way. So as this is a railway series one, not a canal one, I thought I'd bring you to the tram stop. We're at the Library tram stop in Centenary Square. Over there, they're getting ready for the big, yes, Christmas. They got an ice skating rink they're building there. And I'm just waiting for a next tram so you can show the tram. So it goes from Edgbaston.
The lift is out of service at Bilston Central Tram Stop.
But that was interrupted by the tannoy then. So it goes from Edgbaston Village, as you can see there, through 5 Ways, where we are at the library, right through all the way down to West Bromwich, and it ends at Wolverhampton, which is quite some way away, Zone 4. Now, just to let you know, they are building a new station by Wolverhampton Railway Station, so the two connect together. So at the moment it terminates at Wolverhampton St George's. I don't know Wolverhampton very well, so I think that's fairly close to the city centre, I believe. But this will be 2 new tram stops at Piper's Row and Wolverhampton Station. So we'll just wait here for the next tram. I know which, it just says they're every 15 minutes, but it doesn't say what time it's coming. So this is Bull Street tram stop. Now, where I was at Centenary Square, there are no trams running dates because of industrial action. So we're just waiting for a tram here because they're only running from this stop. This is the nearest it's coming into the city centre. It's quite a hike actually from here, from Grand Central, where New Street is. And it's saying it's about 10 minutes. We'll just wait for the 10 minutes so I can get a shot of the tram. So there it is, tram, Midland Metro tram, off on its way to Wolverhampton St George's. I think it's leaving in about 3 minutes. Well, as you can see, things have turned rather wet on the walk back from Bull Street back here to Birmingham Moor St railway station. I have really enjoyed my trip here today on the train from Wootton Moor. I'm heading back there next. I do need to remember to tell the train manager to get off because obviously that train stopped now, it's a bit quieter. Apologies for the noises of the trains, another one coming in soon. So good to see progress on Curzon Street. Obviously that is a bit controversial. And the other thing, I couldn't film it because it was pouring down rain, but they are building a new tram stop there to coincide with the HS2 to connect it to the West Midlands Metro tram network. Well, I hope you enjoyed this railway series one here from Birmingham Moor St in the heart of the West Midlands. It's a bit out my area that I cover because it's a little bit more to the north, so north of Worcestershire, but I did say when I did the canal one I would dip into the West Midlands county now and again. We can't get any more central than where we are today. I do hope to bring you some more railway content soon. Planning to do a preserved heritage steam railway line, one we've been to before, but another section of it. Hope to do that in the next couple of days. So until next time on West Country Wanderings, take care of yourself, look after yourselves, and I hope to see you on the channel again very, very soon. All the best for now. Cheers. Goodbye.
Platform 2 for the 1600 West Midlands Railway service to Worcester Foregate Street. Calling at Birmingham Snow Hill, Jewellery Quarter, the Hawthorns, Smethwick Colton Bridge, Rowley Regis, Cradley Peak, Starbridge Junction, Kidderminster, Droitwich Spa and Worcester Foregate Street. This train is formed of 3 carriages